This is Leadership TV. See ahead, move ahead, stay ahead.
Hi, welcome to our leadership series. Now, this is the third in the series of leadership lectures that I'm delivering. And today we are looking at the 7 things the ant teaches about leadership. I'm very sure that you may have learned and read about the various definitions of leadership by great leadership gurus. You may have read several books on leadership, but most probably you may not have taken your time to learn about what animals teach us about leadership. I believe that from the lion to the eagle, even to the lizard, you can learn powerful leadership lessons. Today, we want to focus on the leadership lessons that the ant teaches. And we are looking at the 7 things the ant teaches about leadership. This is based on a very simple scripture in the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, the verses 6 and 7. This scripture has had very important impact on my life as a leadership development person. Proverbs 6 and 7. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. An amazing scripture. From here, we can learn the 7 things the ant teaches about leadership, and we can even also learn the 7 secrets of self-leadership. But our focus is on the 7 things the ant teaches about leadership. So, number 1, the ant teaches that leadership is prediction because leaders see ahead. See, the ant could predict the coming of winter. The ant could predict the changing of the seasons. And that is the secret of how the ant has survived over the years. Now, see, one of the greatest leaders in the Bible was the Pharaoh at the time of Joseph. This was the Pharaoh who was able to predict 14 years ahead of his kingdom through a dream and was able to build a crack team of economic experts led by Joseph to develop a 14-year economic plan that transformed his kingdom into a superpower. You know, whilst his contemporaries were solving today's problems, he was actually solving 14 years' problems ahead of time. You see, for you to be able to move ahead and stay ahead, you need to be able to predict the future. Leaders who see the future are able to create solutions ahead. I believe that the minimum you should see ahead is that you should see at least 5 years ahead of your leadership. Number two, the ant teaches that leadership is premeditation because leaders think ahead. The action the ant took from this scripture is a clear sign that the ant was thinking ahead. You see, thinking is using your mind to solve problems. Worrying is using your mind to magnify problems. And the most important tool of leadership is the leader's mind. You either use it to worry or you use it to think. The ant chose to use the mind to think. But what is even more important here is that the ant just used the mind to think ahead. It's called strategic thinking. Your ability to use the mind to provide solutions ahead of problems. That before even the problems come, you have already developed a solution to the problem. Hear this. Great leaders, before you think, they have thought. They have the speed of thought. Number 3, the ant teaches that leadership is pro-action because leaders act ahead. There are 3 groups of leaders who are watching me right now. Those who act, and that is doing things on time. And those who react, and that is doing things late. And those who pro-act, doing things ahead of time. If I asked you right now, what are you doing today? You are likely to tell me that you are watching me. But you see, every day you wake up, you are doing one of 3 things. You are either doing yesterday's things today, or today's things today, or tomorrow's things today. The leaders who move our world and make the front page of the newspapers are the leaders who bring tomorrow to today. They live in the future. Hey, don't act, don't react, proact if you want to be a successful leader. Number 4, the aunt teaches that leadership is progression because leaders move ahead. Now, anytime you see successful leaders, they are always ahead of time. They always move ahead because, you see, leadership is a journey forward, not a journey backward. Have you ever considered this? That everything God created moved forward. Lions run forward. Dogs walk forward. Birds fly forward. Even the things that men have created, they create them to move forward. You drive your car forward. You don't drive your car backwards. Aeroplanes fly forward. You see? So leadership is a journey forward, not a journey backward. Life was designed to be progressive, not retrogressive. And I pray for you that God will give you the grace to progress. Number 5, the aunt teaches that leadership is preparation. The aunt teaches that leadership is preparation because leaders equip ahead. So you see, the aunt predicted the coming of winter and acted ahead, prepared ahead. You know, when opportunity meets preparation, it's equal to success. You don't wait for opportunities to come before you prepare. Always prepare ahead. It's only in Africa that when we do things, we say that we don't need it now. In the advanced countries, they don't wait to need things before they do them. So you go into a Western world and you see a nation constructing a rail line or a road, and they will tell you that they are doing that because in 10 years' time, they will need it. They don't wait. In Africa, we wait till we need something before we prepare for them. Learn ahead, experience ahead, equip ahead, inform yourself ahead before time. That is what leaders do. Number 6, the aunt teaches that leadership is precedence because leaders walk ahead and leave footprints. We all know about the ant trail. You remember when we were children, you see a group of ants moving in a line. And what do? You use your finger to just rub on this thing and erase the trail they lead. And then the following ants get frustrated. Because when an ant is moving away, as far as the ant sees that the place is safe, it leaves a trail for other ants to follow. That's what real leaders do. Real leaders leave footprints so that other leaders, emerging leaders, can also follow. You don't need to reinvent the wheel if you are led by a good leader. If you're a good leader leading people, they don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you don't want people to get to where you have gotten to, then you are not a good leader. Make it easier for people to be able to follow you where you have gotten to. Number 7, the aunt teaches that leadership is providence because leaders place God ahead. You know, the ant realizes that the changing of the season is by God and you cannot change it yourself. So all you have to do is to change to suit what God changes. You know, placing God ahead will always put you ahead. I've been there before. I've met a lot of leaders. I've counseled a lot of leaders. When leaders come to their limitation, they turn to God. If you have come to your limitation, I want you to turn to God. I hope these definitions have been a blessing to you. Thank you for joining me. I will see you again another time. God bless you. The mission of the Titi Affairs Center is to provide all manner of leadership learning opportunities to all manner of leaders in all manner of ways, mostly at no cost to these leaders who study at the Titi Affairs Center. To be able to finance the Titi Affairs Center and make sure that our projects are sustainable, I want to invite you to buy the Titi Affairs books on Amazon. Any book you buy is donated to the Titi Affairs Center for the development and the training of the next generation of godly servant leaders. The City Affairs Center every year hosts the African Young Leaders Fellowship Program, where we attract young leaders from across Africa free of charge for a 10-day leadership development program. We also host MELT, the Management, Entrepreneurship, and Leadership Training Program. And this attracts also young men and women who spend weekends with us here at no cost to them at all. The City Affairs Center also hosts some of the biggest young pastors leadership conference. Is called IPLAS, the International Pastors and Leaders Under 40 Summit, where we house over 3,000 young pastoral leaders at no cost to them at all in our facilities. And we want you to support us to keep doing these things. Recently, we signed an MOU with the biggest student organization in Ghana, NUGS, the National Union of Ghana Students, to provide free leadership training to student leaders across the country. This is worth supporting. And above all, the City Affairs Center is also a mission center where this training offers us the opportunity to serve Jesus with our participants. Why don't you support the City Affairs Center by buying a City Affairs book, by creating a City Affairs library right now? Do it now, and the Lord will bless you.
This is Leadership TV. See ahead, move ahead, stay ahead.